All right. We are here. Good. I'm Dash. Did you get me anything good from the store?
Oh yeah, of course, man.
All right.
Yeah, I know. This just had to do a little running around.
I went to the store yesterday just to get some, I don't even know, like Kobe beef and stuff. And it's
The
just
good
like,
stuff.
yeah. Sometimes you'll have like, the tacos are good with that, but like, yeah, it's crazy, man. I bought like 10 things and it was like,
$2,000.
bill is like $8 million. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's out of control.
$9 for a loaf of bread.
Yeah, it's crazy. People always ask me about that, and I said, they were giving us free money for 2 years, so you can't really complain too much. But it is what it is. I think it'll start. Hopefully soon it'll start going back down.
Hopefully.
Once England implodes and we take all their stuff, Canada and U.S. can split it up. It was an interesting weekend. Going to talk about a little bit about this stuff. There's not a lot of games today. There's a couple games I do like though, but obviously tomorrow is a big day. There's Premier League. There's actually a Europa League game on Thursday.
Oh, is that a makeup game?
Yeah, they
Arsenal,
canceled.
I'm guessing.
Arsenal was supposed to play Manchester City on Wednesday, and they postponed that. And now Arsenal is playing PSV, and I don't even. It's weird because I think both of those two teams are going through.
Yeah, PSV just like slaughtered Zurich twice.
Yeah, well, I mean, Bodo's still alive, I guess.
Clinging to life.
Yeah, Bodo plays Zurich next round, so I guess that is pretty big. So Arsenal plays PSV Eindhoven. So Arsenal had to play those two teams, Bodo back-to-back and now Eindhoven back-to-back and back-to-back weeks. So, whatever. They'll find a place to put it. I think it's a little bit of a break for City after that loss yesterday. I mean, that goal that was disallowed. I mean,
yeah.
I don't understand how far back you're going to go for that. I can't wait for Foxy to come on because Manchester United should have about 17 penalties. The refereing was atrocious yesterday.
Yeah, I noticed they had like 3 disallowed goals. I needed an over in that one, and that was just like I gotta say, from like a VAR standpoint, they took a huge step back this week across all of Europe. Did you see that El Clasico match?
Yeah, we had I had a bunch of people over the Pennington soccer team. My friend Juancho is here, and his wife are here to watch these games. So we watched the game. I mean, it was just embarrassing some of these goals that were allowed.
Yeah, and look, man, like in the El Clasico, I'm not complaining because I had Real Madrid, but clear penalty for Lewandowski in like the 80th something minute, and then they don't even bother to look at it at all. And you go and give a penalty to Rodrigo in the almost 90th minute. That wasn't a penalty. There was no contact on the play.
That's the thing with and the thing in England that bothered me with the United game specifically is they looked at these things a couple of times and they decided not to. I'm like, listen, if you're not calling this, especially when you go to VAR, I don't know what's going to get called. And it's just, I mean, I think at some point, like we had that Premier League thing down here too in Philly. I think at some point, like it's got to stop being about the referees and this stuff. And it's the best league in the world, and every week, I mean, I know they want people talking about it and stuff like this, but every week it's people talking about refereeing decisions instead of the games.
Well, look, they're having the same problem the NFL was having a few years ago when they couldn't define what a proper catch was. We need to just change the rules, define the offside so it's clear and obvious on most plays. And then something like that, I'm sorry, as somebody who had Real Madrid, I'm not going to complain about it, but that was a penalty for Lewandowski. that could have made the game 2-2 because Barcelona ended up scoring after that. And then the penalty to Rodrigo wasn't a penalty at all because he wasn't even touched on the play. I don't know what they were looking at there. And they even looked at it and said that was a penalty, which I just don't understand. So got to make some changes.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't know if we talked about it on here. I talked to Brad Friedel, and he was talking about how FC Cincinnati was one of these teams that could go like real deep in the tournament.
You mentioned they were a dark horse. I remember you saying that.
Well, plus 300 on Saturday, and they won.
Comeback win too.
Yeah, yep. What was it, 2-1?
Yeah, I remember I got a notification on my phone that, the Red Bulls scored this like crazy goal from outside the box. And when I watched it, it was nice, but like the ball moved so slow on the shot. I was like, how did that even go in? Like had so much airtime when he kicked it. But then I see the final score. I get the notification for the final score. And I was like, Cincinnati came back and won. Wow, look at that. And the first thing I thought of was you mentioning that dark horse team to go deep into the tournament.
They're a dangerous team. They have a lot.
You and Joe Wiz, I believe, mentioned it too.
Joe Wiz actually. So he gave, after last week, that guy, he never wants any picks again. He gave that guy, because I told him I gave him Cincinnati, Real Madrid, both plus money. I gave him Saturday. He had Wolves Saturday. I
had the under in that one, man. Minus 125 for the under 2.5. Like, what are we doing? Week after week, they're giving that Wolves team minus 125 for the under, and it makes no sense.
Yeah, I think at some point it's got to adjust. I gave Real Madrid, and I had some other game. I forget who it was.
West Ham should have won that match against Southampton.
Yep.
They always do that. They dick around in the first 30 minutes, and then they started to take the match over in the second half. But, like, it was too little too late. They had plenty of chances to score the second goal and just couldn't get it done.
Yep. I agree 100%. So, and then the college was crazy. The scores.
Tennessee upset, Knoxville burning down.
Yeah.
What about you, man? You live in Philly. It must be going crazy right now. Philly's in the NLCS. The Union are one of the most dominant teams in the MLS. You got the 6-0 Eagles rocking. The 76ers are one of the favorites to win the championship. Only your Flyers suck.
No offense. Although they beat Vancouver, I think, the other day. So
yeah, they came back down.
Terrible. They're so banged up already. But yeah, look, I mean, it's crazy here. I mean, I already tried to get tickets for this game 3. I was on Joe Wiz's show, on the ESPN show. It's I guess it's both our shows. But like, I've been saying for months, I said I thought the Braves were going to come out. The Braves are going to win the East, and like all the way until like 2 weeks left, you could have got them at +2 something to win the division, which they ended up doing. And I said I thought the Padres were good value to go to the World Series to win the National League because they were like plus whatever. And now the Padres are going to be hosting this series. The Phillies were crazy money, but the Padres are see if I can find this. I mean, I'm sure they're favored now.
Yeah, man. Another really good handicapper I know, like before the wild card series even said, I'm taking the Padres at 20-1 to win the World Series. They have the most value for considering the team that they have at 20-1 odds. Like, it's ridiculous.
The thing with them too is like they have, Padres right now are second choice to win the World Series. Obviously because they're favored to beat the Phillies, but they have all year. The thing that I was saying about them is that they have more pitching than anybody else, and it doesn't really, in the regular season maybe that doesn't matter as much. I mean, because everybody's got pitching, but then when it gets to the playoffs, man, they got 6 starters: Snell and Darvish, all these guys, and like
Musgrove.
Yeah. Look, so like I think they're going to have a huge advantage in this series.
The Phillies bullpen is trash. So
yeah, and the Padres hit. The Padres spent a lot of money, and they guys got fired, and everybody kind of thought they were like last year was their year, or the year before, and it's just like you just kind of thought eventually it was going to happen, and now it is.
Well, that's the thing with them, right? Like they weren't just trying to build a team for the World Series; they were specifically building a team to beat the Dodgers because they were out of that division.
Yeah. They have to do it, and they just did. And now they're set. They're set. If they could go, if they could go to the World, it'd be crazy if they went to the World Series and won it, because the Dodgers have only had one in this whole time. They went to the World Series so many times. They got beat by the cheating Astros and the cheating Red Sox, but it is what it is.
Then they finally got their one against the Rays, who barely skirted in there with pitching. But you know what? If the Guardians beat the Yankees, they're going to be like the new Rays now, man. Their pitching's unbelievable.
Yeah, that's what, and it is what it is. Like, pitching is what this, you could do all this, say all this stuff you want about hitting and lineups and thing. If you don't have pitching right now, you can't, you're not doing anything. Philly's a little bit of an exception, but I think their pitchers have actually been, their starters have been pretty good in the playoffs. But yeah, it should be interesting. I mean, tonight's game 5. So there's a couple, and then, the college, Tennessee, Michigan annihilated Penn State. Utah came back and beat USC.
Went for the 2 points. You don't normally do that at home. That's like isn't it supposed to be you play for the overtime at home and the win on the road?
Yeah,
I think let's end their season here.
They already have 2 losses. They said, I guess, there's not much at this point. Like, so they went for it, which was,
and, you got a chance to end the season basically for USC. They can't make the Final Four now.
Yeah, it's crazy. TCU could. I mean, that was a big win.
Man, I watched that game. I was on Oklahoma State, just cashed the +4, but I thought they were going to win. They were up like 30-16 at one point, dominating the game.
I'll tell you, Syracuse is pretty good, and then we got the NFL games. I mean, I don't even know how to pick NFL games anymore. I just don't know. Like, it's just so hard. These games, the Falcons beat the 49ers. The Patriots, but the Browns, the Jets.
Bailey Zappi, man.
He's got, we talked about that on Friday. He's got to play now.
I think he can be the starter for sure.
Yep. The Vikings are really good. The Bengals got a big win. The Giants are good. I contend that the Giants in that week 1, when he went for 2 to win the game and they got it. I mean, if he didn't get it, it's, I think that it would have been good too, but like, he got it. And then he asked the players, and the players were all behind him. And they said, listen, man, we got to coach with some balls now. We're going to do it. And then it just gives you confidence. Your Cardinals.
Giants. Yeah, my Cardinals suck, man. Don't even bring them up.
Oh.
They had a 10-1 road record before that game too, going back to week 1 last year. 10-1 on the road, and they lose to Seattle. Man, Geno Smith, I guess Pete Carroll wasn't kidding when he said we are not in a rebuild this year.
I guess. I mean, I just, what? Like, I think these teams are all the same. I don't think anybody, like, I know the Giants are 5-1. And if the Giants played the Ravens 10 times, the Ravens would probably win 7 of them or 6, whatever. But, like, these teams are all just like the same. The Saints and the Bengals. And the Vikings are, I guess the Vikings are pretty good. The Dolphins just got, they got so many injuries.
Got 3rd-string quarterback Skylar Thompson out there. Like, come on.
The Colts and the Jaguars, the Packers aren't it. Like, these teams are all the same. When you look at the standings, you got, I think Buffalo is very good. I think Tennessee is going to end up being good. Kansas City's obviously good. The Eagles are good. The Vikings are good. And then look at the NFC right now. I mean, it's just a mess. They're all the same.
Parody, man. It's all just parody. If you ask Tom Brady, he'll tell you it's just a lot of bad football, but in reality, it's just parody across the league. There's no, like, besides the Bills and the Eagles and the Chiefs, there's no, like, dominant team that's going to beat your face in every week.
Yeah, I agree 100%, all right, so it's just it's a weird weekend, but this is a good weekend, a good week for us, because we have a lot of games, and it's crazy. It's like we're a month out from the World Cup, so that's going to be. You see the banners here. Remember, Caesar Sportsbook free bet insurance up to $1,250. If you're, I don't know who's watching. I'm sure Foxy's here. Some Foxy, you guys got lucky, man. We should have had 7 penalties, man. 7.
No, I know. Every time I looked at my phone, I see, 1-0 Man United, and then the goal's taken away, and I'm like,
Foxy's saying they should have had 2 penalties. What? We should have had 7 penalties.
Man, I would have taken a 5-5 game. That would have cashed my over. I was expecting goals.
Yeah, this is crazy. So we'll talk about this, but the World Cup is already like a month out, and we're going to try to do some things. I know we talked about, teasing everybody about this thing. We got something coming up where we're going to be doing a different show as well, maybe 2 hours a day. I don't know if it's going to be on here, streaming on here, or whatever. It's going to be, we're going to get some, I know it's going to be on YouTube, Facebook, I don't know, Instagram, whatever. We're going to be all over the place. So we're in the process. Man, you diving was next level. Oh my God, man. Come on. We were getting hacked down left and right by all your players, man. And we should have had, I can't believe Fred missed that. And Rashford missed that. We had so many chances to win that game. It was crazy. It was very frustrating. I was watching it with along with the Classico and everybody at the house. I was just like, I'm just like over it. We're not any good. Newcastle will probably finish ahead of them. But if we win the Europa League, we'll be all right. But now, because Barcelona and all those teams are going to be in it, it's going to be crazy. So
yeah.
Some interesting games today. Villarreal, Osasuna, Sampdoria, Roma at 12:30. So Charlton Athletic, Portsmouth. I went to Charlton Athletic game. Some of these other leagues, I don't really get into these too much. There's a couple of MLS playoff games. I want to talk about quickly we'll talk about the Serie A game first because it's coming up here soon. This line keeps going down. City disallowed goal was harsh to me. Different rules when you play in Anfield. Yeah, I just don't understand. Like, how far are you going to – if the problem with all this stuff and the thing with Rashford's disallowed goal the other week and stuff like this is if he uses his hand – or there's a foul or something like this, but then like it's too far back. Like, where's the cutoff? Or if Rashford, uses his hand and then plays it across to the guy and he scores, it's nothing happens. Like, it's a goal. Like, these rules are just dumb, and they're like made to cause more confusion. It's the same thing with the offside rule. Like, just if you want to change the game and make it more entertaining, like make a gap of a yard or whatever. Or if any part of you is onside, you're onside. That's even a better rule. If any single part of your body is onside, even with the last defender, it should be onside.
That's really what it should be. Because if you look at hockey, like you can be across the blue line as long as your skate is still touching it.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly. If it should be. I got to get Arsene Wenger on the phone. It should be any part of your body that is onside, because then it could be a yard. Like if you're in the mid stride or something like that, and it gives the attacker the advantage. The defender
exactly. And if you need to slow down, you can maybe like lag a leg or something. Like just wait, right? Split second, you leave your leg behind and then go.
I just it's just crazy. Like
I agree. I would love if they just made the rule where any part of your body is touching the line. That should absolutely be the rule, and just make it uniform across all leagues.
Yep, I agree. Roma here in 6th right now, +9 goal difference. Only 2 losses in 9 games. They could jump up all the way to 4th, ahead of Lazio with the win today. They're playing Sampdoria, who's last. Yeah, no wins in 9 games, -12 goal difference, 17 goals allowed here. And Roma is on the road at -148, and this line has dropped a little bit. I don't know if somebody is.
It's because there's no Dybala, and I guess Chelik's also out for the defense. But Roma's got to win this game, man. Like. They can't lose to Sampdoria, who's got no wins this year and literally has just been awful. I think they've lost like 4 of their last 5 or something ridiculous like that. They're not scoring goals. They're just a bad team.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. And they have some players here. I think even without Dybala, you got Pellegrini, Bellotti. You got some Here's Bellotti scored 9 goals in Serie A against Sampdoria. But he hasn't met it and hasn't scored since November 18th on the road.
Bellotti to score a goal. There you go.
Yeah. Look, I mean, these are these are kind of games that if Roma wants to be taken seriously in this league, and Jose Mourinho and all this thing, they got to win this game.
Yeah.
You
shouldn't even allow a goal in this game.
Yes, I agree. And then you kind of look at that and Roma win to nil is plus 175. I think that offers you pretty good value. They only have 5 goals. Foxy doesn't trust Roma without Dybala. It's tough because I mean this Sampdoria team is really bad. They only have 5 goals here, and they've given a lot of goals, 2 goals a game. I just Tammy Abraham, whoever, somebody's got to pick up some goals here. Roma does have a tendency to give up some goals, but I just think this is a game they have to win. I don't know if minus 148 is great. I might take it. It's better, like you said, maybe to take a chance. Roma to win to nil at plus 175. I think that'll be more value. And
a lot of value there, and it has to be done.
Yeah, and if it, I don't know if you get beat because they get beat 2-1. I don't know. Then I guess you get beat, but I don't know. The minus 148 seems like a lot to me.
Well, if they win 2-1 or something because they allow a stupid goal like that, and you take the -1, then you're pushing with that. So, they have to. This is just like you said. Bayern was either going to blow Freiburg out or not win the game, and obviously we saw Bayern come and make the example. This is one where Roma, you have to show me what you are here. You have to beat the worst team in Italy right now. And if you don't, can you even call yourself a top 4 contender? Because that's what you're trying to do right now.
Yeah. Yep. I agree 100%.
Especially with the money you spent in the transfer window. Come on, you got to show me you want to be a top 4 contender. And the league is wide open. There is not that's the team, that's the city in this league. It doesn't exist in Italy.
It's interesting, by the way, that I'm glad you brought that up because with that Bayern Freiburg game, Bayern and you see Dortmund losing at home or losing to Union Berlin. Bayern, I think we had it pegged 100%. When Bayern has these teams step up, there's always this new team that steps up in the league. Union Berlin or RB Leipzig, Freiburg, Borussia Dortmund. Sometimes it's they'll slip to results, but when they have a chance to slap the new guy down, they always take it. They always assert their dominance. They're not playing great. They have 3 draws and a loss in 9 matches, but you'll look up at them in March. And they'll have 4 draws and a loss or 2 losses, and they'll have they'll have added 17 wins. They're not the next 20 games are going to go 17-2-1, whatever it is. They're going to be fine. They'll win the league easily, I think. But whenever they have a chance to do that, they always do it. So today the MLS games. I don't know if you like that Villarreal Osasuna game at all.
It's interesting because Osasuna got 2 red cards in their last match, so they're going to be missing. They're going to be missing a key defender. The other guy was a bench player, but they also got a red card the match before that. So they have 3 red cards in their last 2, and their discipline has just been awful.
So they're going to be missing 3 players here.
Yeah, they also have 2 losses in their last 3 matches with no wins. So that good form they started out the season in is starting to slip away again, just like we thought they were going to start to slide down the table a bit.
Osasuna to get a red card today is plus 510.
Plus 510. They've gotten 3 in the last 2 games. Unless they're really going to tighten up the discipline, which they kind of have to, they're not going to be able to afford to take a red card here.
Yeah, this game is interesting because Villarreal at minus 139 might be worth a shot here with 3 starters out.
Villarreal has scored 4 goals in 4 of their 5 home matches this year.
Really?
Yeah, across all competitions. They've only played 2 at home in La Liga, but their 3 Conference League home matches, 4, it was 4-3, 4-0, and maybe another 4-0 in there.
Unai Garcia and Ruben Pena. Kike Severio is out. Yeah, it's not a bad play. I mean, I would see, if you're not positive about it, if I would save your money here, but it's an interesting thought.
Yeah, I still think Villarreal has a good team. Like I know they haven't been playing great in the league, but they've also been playing conference league matches that they've been destroying these smaller teams in. So it's just like similar to what you've seen with West Ham, right? You gotta put your focus somewhere early in the league. Sometimes one aspect suffers more than the other.
These early lines for LA Galaxy and LAFC, LAFC is only minus 155 here on Thursday night.
El Trafico.
And this, NYCFC here tonight at minus 152, I think is pretty good value. They should probably win that game against Inter Miami. They've been the better team all year. This FC Dallas and Minnesota United game. Cluj play. I feel like Cluj is playing again. I feel like they play every day. It's ridiculous.
I know the Romanian league is weird, man. Like
they're playing again. Like Cluj just played. Like they're playing again. I don't understand. Like they play every day. Every time we look on here, it's like, oh, there's Cluj again.
Oh, there's a Cluj match today. Oh, there's no soccer today. Oh, except Cluj. Cluj is playing. That's right. I know they're always that one team when like we come on like there's no soccer matches today. The only one is Cluj. They're like a schedule filler.
ACS Sepsi OSK Fantool. Who the hell are they playing?
What a name! Don't you love some of these
ACS
like, long names?
Sepsi OSK Fantool George.
There's one in Nicaragua that's like. It's great. It's because it's got the CD, so it's like Club Deportivo Club Deportivo Farena, Managua, and then something else. It's got like 5 names in it. And I'm like, what? Why?
It's actually a pretty decent game here. Sepsi's got a +10 goal difference. They've played 13 games. Cluj is still behind here. 7-1-3. So Cluj, if they make their points up, could be just a couple points behind Ferro Constanta.
Yeah, see what I mean? How they've played 11 matches. That's what I was talking about with these smaller leagues. Like they tend to postpone a lot of their league matches for their European competition teams.
Yeah, they play 3 less games. I mean, it's probably why they're playing every day. I mean, they probably are.
Yeah, because every time they advance to like the next round or whatever, they're like, okay, we'll postpone the game. You guys get rest. Win European competition. It's all about getting more bids, I guess. More bids to the league.
I'm going to look at this here. What do they say? Look, man, I don't care about tweets, man. Just tell me who I should pick.
I know. Don't you love that prediction in the name? And then they give you a bunch of like random paragraphs and then there's no prediction at the end.
I don't have it. Sports Mall. I like the Sports Mall site because I just feel like they break it down a little bit like better. And it's just me, but like, yeah, it's an interesting game. Cluj is +105. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I would say save your money, but you could do whatever. Yeah, so I mean, but there's not really a lot of stuff today. I mean, you go ugly scenes in Brazil last night. Fans invaded the pitch for Sierra, throwing seats, hitting people. Interesting to see who gets relegated. That's what they said. Interesting scenes at Nottingham Forest. There wasn't anything really. The camera just panned to the coach or something like that, and then they because everybody says the coach is real ugly or something like that.
What?
Steve Cooper or something like that.
Oh my god.
So in Brazil, huh? Let me see.
I didn't even see that. I didn't look at Brazil yesterday.
Right now you got Sierra 34 points, Cuiba 31, Atletico Go 30, Avai 28, and Juventud is going down. So yeah, there's and Cortiva still at 34. So yeah, there could some of these teams could go down. But let's see, Sierra, did they win that game? 1-0.
Remember when Sierra was playing well in Copa Sudamericana?
Yep.
Like, it's amazing. It's amazing in this league because, like, they're in 16th place, about to get relegated. But when you look at it, they're 6 points away from getting another Sudamericana spot because there's, 12 spots in the league?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. They scored in the 90 plus 2 to do that. Yeah.
Look at it. There's literally 4 teams in the league that either that literally nothing happens to you in Brazil. There's only 4 slots out of the 20 teams where nothing happens to you.
13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah.
There's 4 where you get relegated and
12 teams go to South. I mean, come on. You're always like, man, how is Brazil? Well, what the hell, man? They get 3/4 of the leagues in the Europe. Like, of course they're gonna win the tournament.
Literally, that is over half the league makes it, and then 4 teams get relegated, and then you're literally, if you're in one of those 4 spots right there in between, you're just standing there like, well, nothing happened for us this year.
It's crazy too, and like, there's a bunch of these teams that still have games to play. They're still a match behind. So yeah, this is going to be pretty crazy going up. And then
I think there's still 6 left.
Yes, 6 or 7. Some have 7 left.
Yeah.
And then you got the Copa Libertadores coming up in 12 days. Flamengo's still heavy favorites.
That's right. That's coming up at the end of October. It's been so long, I forgot about it. 2-month break from the semifinal.
October 29th, right? Like it's like,
yeah, the semifinal was in August. Wasn't it August 20 something?
Saturday, October 29th at 4 p.m. Yeah, it's something crazy. Yeah, when was the last? Yeah, August 30th was the last.
Foxy's saying the smaller South American teams, I guess the smaller leagues, if you finish first in those leagues, you have to play qualifiers in Copa Libertadores. If you finish first in your league, like in Venezuela or Colombia or something, you should just get the automatic in. Okay, if you want to make the second place team play, fine, but the first place team has to go. What's the point then of playing the league?
Yeah, that's crazy.
You could win the title and dominate your league for 10 years, but then you're always getting kicked out in the first qualifying round because you go up against a Brazilian team? That's not fair.
Yeah, that's a little bit ridiculous.
That's CONMEBOL for you, oldest federation in soccer.
Just a quick look ahead here because there's not too much else going on today. There's no college football. There's the NFL game, but the Broncos.
Your Broncos, baby.
I can't even be bothered. The two worst coaches in the league going at it today. I can't. This guy's going to get
Staley.
Yeah, the Broncos coach will get fired because he got hired before the new owners took over, and the owners don't want him.
He has it in his name. It's a hack.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Well, like I said, he's trying to make Wilson play something he's not. It's that under center crap.
I just don't understand. Like, you bring this guy, you bring Wilson in, you pay him all this money, and then you're doing all this stuff. I just say, just get rid of this guy now and let Wilson just do it. You just let Wilson go.
What's the saying? You can't teach an old dog new tricks. So why are you trying to tell Wilson to change his game after 15 years in the NFL or whatever, how many years he's played? Over 10, I'm pretty sure by now.
Yeah, it's crazy. And he's a good quarterback. I mean, that's what people are like, oh, this guy Wilson, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, look, man, it's not him. It's the coach. He's got to go.
Good coaches do what's good for the player. and then they center the offense and game plan around your best players, not let's make the best players do something that they're not good at.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to bring out their best qualities.
Yes. Well, in theory.
Well, that's why I said that's what a good coach would do. That's what good coaches do. Bring out the best in their players, not change their game completely to something they're not used to.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Let's see here. What do we got?
Got 2 games tomorrow, I guess. See, I like this nice spread, and then you got 5 Wednesday, 2 Thursday.
Yeah, usually the Wednesday games are because the furthest away from the weekend. Usually they have a pretty decent schedule. Yeah, and then this weekend there's there's just the 4 games. The 1 game in the early window. I still don't understand why they didn't have the early window game a couple weeks ago. 2 in the 10 o'clock, and then they're starting to spread these games out a little more on Sunday. There's a lot of games.
Yeah, like even tomorrow you got the 2:30 and a 3:15. So right when one hits halftime, you got the other starting.
That's Amazon.
Is that Amazon?
Yes, 100%. These are the Amazon games. So what they do is they start the game. So as soon as the 1 game thing, you switch over, and then you can switch back or whatever. And then when the game ends, you still have another half to watch of the other one. I actually, it's pretty smart. I mean, if they wanted to be smarter about it, like 7:30 is like, why not just start it at 7 o'clock? Why not just do 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock? 4 is a little bit late for England, I think, because it's 9 o'clock start. But in Europe, like they start at 9 o'clock all the time in Spain and in
could do 1 and 3.
Yeah, watch out Wednesday. Spurs get a penalty every game. Yeah, no, I know. We're not. I don't think we'll win that game.
I don't know, man. Tottenham sucks on the road.
Yeah, that's true.
I wouldn't want to take them in that spot. Maybe if they were at home, I would say they're going to crush Man United. But on the road, you can't trust this team.
Where's the fixtures? There's next ones. So there's the Saturday games, the Sunday games. There's 1 Monday game. The Monday, West Ham Bournemouth, not terrible. And then there's nothing. Oh, there's the Champions League and Europa League. And then everything right now is on. Look at that. That's weird. They got this extra game on Saturday, the 2:45 game, Liverpool Leeds. So every once in a while they'll do that. They'll play, 8 games on.
Nice MLS schedule on the weekend.
Yeah.
Or I guess that's the weekend afterwards.
Yeah, and then same thing here. There's no, because then the time changes. We change the time here in America. I don't know if you do, but like this is, there's no early game again on Saturday. I don't know why. Then there's the late game. It's at 1:30, and then Sunday is there's the 3 different games, 3 different windows. I don't know why there's Sunday games. I think they should just let them go to Qatar and be happy. But yeah, so there's a couple games this week, or a couple games tomorrow. Brighton, Nottingham Forest. Brighton at -265. I don't love that. I don't think Brighton should be -265 against anybody. Nottingham Forest missed a penalty against Wolves. I mean, I don't think they played terribly. And then Crystal Palace and Wolves. I mean, you got to be. I don't know why you would bet that game.
Under at -150, probably going to be a scoreless draw there.
Yeah, under 2.5 at -157. Yikes. Yeah, because Palace can't score either.
No.
Under 2.25 is -120. Yikes.
Crystal Palace just played Leicester City, who's probably has one of the worst defenses in the league, has allowed so many goals this year, and they came away with a 0-0 draw.
I know, it was a weird game too. I was watching it. I'm like, man, they don't, I thought they should have scored more, but
yeah. You thought they should have scored at all. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
somebody could have scored in that match. There was plenty of chances.
Plenty of chances there. All right, so yeah, basically that's the show. If anybody had any money on Kareem Benzema to win the Ballon d'Or this year, you're in luck. That'll cash out today. I don't even know if they announced it yet, but it will be announced shortly.
Take Holland for next year.
Yeah, it's probably.
This guy's an animal in Champions League or Premier League. Doesn't matter where you throw him.
I don't know what time that thing is on. Maybe it's 7:30 UK time, so 2:30. You don't need to watch it. Kareem Benzema has already been announced as the winner through leaks, and really, that's why I got my Benzema 2010 World Cup qualifier. There's nobody else. He had to win. He won everything there was to win, and he scored a ton of goals. Next year, yes, I'll be Haaland because Manchester City will win everything. So although maybe not the Premier League.
We'll see. Man, you said they weren't going to lose this year, and of course we had to jinx that because they go and lose a dumb game against Liverpool, which they probably shouldn't have lost.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They should have won that game.
Yeah, that disallowed goal was something else.
Yeah. Just make the rules and just stick with them. It's crazy. I don't know. All right, so you got to play on this game tonight, by the way, the football?
I don't even know. Like, I like the Chargers to win, but I don't know if 4.5 with the Broncos defense. It's a tough one.
Yeah, I'm probably just gonna stay away from it completely, and I'll be covering a couple games. I'll be streaming it and covering a couple games, so I'm not even gonna. I don't even know.
Just watch it and hope your team wins.
Yeah, man. I can't be bothered with these games. I watched the Eagles game for about a half last night, and then these games are just the primetime games have been not great. So, but last night wasn't terrible, but
yeah, like they put Bills Chiefs at 4:25 when you could have had that as the Sunday night game.
Yeah, that's the thing that people I think are getting upset about now because like these games, they're putting the better games into that window. It seems like they're doing that basically on purpose to I don't know, maybe to keep the better games that people watch. Maybe there's more people watching that at 4:25, but who knows? All right, yeah.
And anybody who thinks there's going to finally be a good Thursday night game this week with the Saints and Cardinals, think again. Going to be another stinker.
Yep. Klopp should get banned for 10 games. I agree. He's a clown. He's been doing this stuff for too long and not getting in trouble for it. I think it's too much. I think these big teams sometimes they just let these guys get away, and he says stuff, and then he says, "Oh, sorry, I didn't understand what the question because I'm from Germany or something like this." But yeah, I think he should be banned for a while. He will get a couple games. He got red card. I think it's minimum 2 games. So he'll what do you call it? Appeal or whatever. So, but that's not good. But all right, so we'll be back Tuesday, or we'll be back tomorrow to talk about these games and some of the other stuff. Some of the games tomorrow. I think there's a little more games tomorrow. Wednesday, same thing. So schedules at the bottom. When we have some of these other games, the World Cup coming up, maybe we'll figure out what we're going to do because 11 to 12 is right in the middle of that one game. Maybe it will be 10 to 11. I don't know. We will figure it out for you. We got a month. So if you have any questions, where can you find your picks?
Yeah, you can get my picks at bigal.com and pickadvisor.com.
And remember to follow Joe Wiz, or I'll yell at you when he comes on, whenever he comes on. And get his picks. I guess he was pretty good this weekend. So. All right. We'll see you again tomorrow.